The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. As Jesus passed by, he saw a man named Matthew sitting at the custom posts. He said to him, "Follow me." And he got up and followed him. While he was at table in his house, many tax collectors and sinners came and sat with Jesus and his disciples. The Pharisees saw this and said to his disciples, "Why does your teacher eat with tax collectors and sinners?" He heard this and said, "Those who are well do not need a physician, but the sick do. Go and learn the meaning of the words, 'I desire mercy, not sacrifice.' I did not come to call the righteous, but sinners." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Here at St. Matthew's on this our feast day, I feel we're pretty good about encouraging each other to follow God's call, right? We think of the vocation prayer that we say at every Mass, basically, and it deals with the four big V vocation calls, priesthood, marriage, single life, and consecrated life. So it deals with the big V vocation calls. But there's a step before that I think, not necessarily that we neglect, but I think we need to really focus on, and that's what I call the universal call to discipleship. Okay, that comes way before we discern the actual vocation, big V vocation the Lord is calling us to. So that universal call of discipleship. Follow me. That's what our Lord tells St. Matthew today. Follow me. We hear it all over through the Gospels. Jesus always tells each of his followers, mainly apostles, just because they're named, follow me. Don't worry about him. Follow me, And it's a beautiful call because it's personal, right? Jesus calls Matthew by name. He sees a man named Matthew, and he says, "Follow me." And that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of discipleship, that there's no cookie-cutter approach. It's all very personal to each one of us. And I think that's key, because there can be a temptation to get in the wrong lane and follow somebody who's following Christ, thinking we need to be like that person in order to then be like Christ. And that's just an error and a temptation on our part. Our job is to follow Christ. And we can be inspired by others, but we're not called to follow them per se. So I think of a case in my life that highlights this. I went snowmobiling with my brother and some other people. And my brother, whose name is Matthew, so it's fitting, but we were snowmobiling. And finally he said to his wife, he said, "Don't follow Bryce. Don't go where he's going. It's going to get you in trouble." So the idea is to not follow Father Bryce, but follow Jesus, right? That goes for all of us. We don't, like I say, we can be inspired by each other, encouraged by each other, but it's very personal in our discipleship. So that's key to understanding our big V vocation, that universal call to discipleship. Follow me. St. Matthew nails it. All the disciples and apostles nail it, and we can learn from them certainly, and each other. So just a good reminder for us that we're all in this together. We're all striving for really that fundamental discipleship of following Christ, and it's personal. Our Lord calls us by name. We're called to follow him as his beloved sons and daughters of God the Father and brothers of Jesus our Lord.